corrections or questions? I would entertain a motion that we approve.
So moved.
Clarence?
Yeah.
Thank you. And a motion by Mr. Godwin to approve the financial report discussion. Call the roll, please.
Godwin,
Yes.
Hoddyshow,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
White.
Approval of the agenda. We'll try to make this as less complicated as possible. I received a call from the, or an email from the auditor. Under item number 1, we need to strike that completely. And so we will not renumber these. They will stay as they are on the agenda. Item 2 then would be a resolution to refund shelter house rental fees. And then we need to add an item 3, which is a supplemental appropriations ordinance. And we also need to add under that item 4, which is a transfer ordinance. And that is all I have at this time on the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda as amended.
Motion by Mr. Schmidt to approve the agenda as amended. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Godwin,
Yes.
Hoddyshow,
Yes.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to public hearings. First, we do have a scheduled public hearing. It involves a zoning amendment to rezone a parcel of land east of 753 North Broadway from suburban residential SR to special use SU. This was requested by the Darke County Park District, and it becomes a part and parcel of their property to maintain that in perpetuity. So at this time, anyone wishing to discuss or question or comment on this request may do so at this time. Please state your name and address and the questions or information that you may have.
Councilman Burkett, Roger
Yes, sir.
Van Frank, Director of Darke County Parks. I'm online with you folks, but only via telephone. I apologize. I could not join the meeting in facial recognition through Zoom. But I'll be glad to answer any questions with regards to this parcel. It will become the 13th Darke County Park, and more than one of our parks lies within. This park is going to be more of a very natural area. It will be used for education purposes also with the Greenville High School. We're currently working with their sciences department and the students already. We'll be going through tree identification. We're already going to be working on some different habitats within that 2-acre parcel. We are creating a parking area. Approximate size is 30 by 50 right off of the end of Meadow Lane. I spoke today briefly with your safety services director, and we'll work with him to show him more, but this is being worked with through the Ohio Department of Transportation. It is funds that we receive as a park district from them to help build these particular types of venues. It'll be very natural, will not create any drainage problems. The plans have been approved and it has gone out to bid, and I'll be glad to share those plans with your service director and the mayor if they need it. They had some earlier on prior to the COVID issue, but I'll be more than happy to share all of that, and I will be glad to answer questions, and I appreciate the considerations that council gives to the park district.
Anyone wishing to ask questions of the park director or any questions from any citizens that may be online?
Sir, you said this was the 13th park?
I believe so. Don't hold me to that. It might be number 13. It might be number 12. Depends on if you count the bike trail.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What is the total acreage of that, Mr. Brand Frank?
Oh, let's see. I believe it's 2.33 acres or 3.1. Prior to us accepting it, a new line of location, which would be on the 753 side of the property, we ended up picking up an additional 75 feet. So I'm going to say it's around 2.89 or 3.1.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this? Any further questions from members of council?
Sounds like a nice addition to the city.
Thank you. We anticipate being able to keep it up and create some of those pollinator fields and strips, and it will be a great educational plot to be used for and by the high school and the public.
Good job, Roger.
Thank you.
Thanks, Roger.
You guys are very welcome. Thank you.
If there are no further questions or any further discussion or objections from anyone who may be listening, we had to, going back a little bit, historically, we had to postpone this because it was scheduled, I think, for the first meeting that we had kind of closed and all spread out in council chambers, and public really wasn't permitted to come in. So we postponed it at that time so that we could reschedule it at a time when people could, after learning about it and post it for 30 days prior to this time, have an opportunity to react. And if there are no further reactions or questions or comments, I would at this time declare this portion of the public hearing concluded. And if it's acceptable with any members of council, if you object, let me know. If not, the legislation has been prepared, and after the legislation or after the hearing, if the conclusion is that we want to put this on the agenda, it can automatically go to the agenda as item 5.
That'd be fine.
Okay, so under ordinances and resolution, that will become item 5, which is an ordinance to rezone. Thank you, Mr. Van Frank. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your time, council.
Thanks, Roger.
Thank you.
Anyone wishing to address council may do so. I see some other phones up, but no one is speaking.
I need a new case.
If no one else is wanting to address council, we will move the agenda and proceed with the administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Cricket.
You're going
Particularly want
to have to speak up, sir. You sound like you're in a well.
yeah, here. Okay, yes, thank you. A couple items. First thing, some of you know, some don't. Congratulate Ryan Delk when you get a chance that he's permanent hired as safety service director. So you see him next time, let him know. Still hear me?
Barely.
scoot up a little. Okay, one other thing, if you don't know already, we talked about it, I think once, the Montrose group with our downtown redevelopment districts. We're gonna have a phone call with them to find out what's going on. In the state, we heard at first turned them all down because they took up too much property. They're more than 10 acres. We're gonna find out what's going on with those. Tomorrow we got a phone call with Nate Green, which came and presented that stuff to us. And we hired them a good while back to submit that to the state. So I talked to Katie the last couple of days in planning and zoning. She said that she thought that they were telling us there was like 5 out of 8 or something like that. She was confused too. And so we decided to get a meeting with them, find out what's going on. I know Versailles had the same problem and they're starting all over, but they only have 1. So we'll find out tomorrow a little bit more about them. So if you have any questions, tomorrow afternoon or next day, unless you got any more, Ryan, nothing more. We're having a meeting tomorrow to settle some details on Artie's. Artie's is still planning on coming to the outer lot of Rural King. So that's in the works. We've had a little trouble getting with the engineering company. So we've called up called them up, set a meeting up with the owner of the franchise. So we're having a meeting tomorrow with them, try to work out some details of that, see if we can get some kind of plan together so we can get at least a preliminary for the next planning and zoning. One other thing I want to mention, a long time ago when we planned on having a new planning and zoning director, manager, Dennis Asinger, who's been working on a lot of our code enforcement, trying to look at our zoning, and just to let you know, sometime soon, he's already started working on a new comprehensive plan. And we're going to try to do some meetings with some of the departments in the city building first, and then move out to council, committees, various places, and also community groups. So that all hasn't been laid out yet, but I just want to let you know that those plans are in the works. And so we're going to try to get together a new comprehensive plan for the city. So it's in the works. So that's all I got right now. So anybody have questions, let me know. I pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Council. A few things to report. First, the Park Board has voted to work towards opening the swimming pool for the summer. There's not been a date set on opening. Right now, the street department has started with getting the pumps fired up, getting it filled, making sure everything is working correctly. And the biggest side of things is to make sure that we can get enough lifeguards trained for the season. We currently have a lifeguard shortage, and with the COVID, there were no available places to get them trained. So that's our next step we're moving through. They're going to be meeting once a week for the next month to try to keep the process moving along. Second, the Wagner Avenue project is still ongoing, still ahead of schedule. Everything's going very well out there. The Broadway project, directional boring, started today on 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They actually started on 3rd, I believe, for the light poles. So they'll do all the directional boring for the light pole bases, and then we can get some decorative lights down the sides. At this point, we're only going to do half of the lights to get some lighting, and then apply next year especially through the CIP to get the remainder of the funds to install all of the lights. On Monday, Walls Asphalt will be out on Wagner Avenue doing some asphalt repairs. We have some areas out there, kind of in front of Burger King, that have broken up very bad over the winter, and some spots down between like Rust Road and Lease Avenue that potholes just keep popping up. So they're gonna come in and grind down like 6 inches and do some base repairs and get that fixed back up for summer, so we don't have as many issues out there. And then the city building is officially open. So we've had, it's went really well. We've had customers all week in and out. Everyone's being very respectful, and it's moving along really nice. And then last but not least, I'm sure most of you have heard, we have information that there will be a peaceful protest on Saturday at 3 o'clock in front of the city building. So today we met with the fire department, Darke County Sheriff's Office, Greenville Police Department, and we are putting a plan in place to make sure that stays peaceful. So I just want to assure everyone that we're going to do everything we can to keep it peaceful and let the peaceful people do their thing and stay out of the craziness. And with that, I pass.
Hey, Ryan,
Yes, sir.
is anything going to happen to the Yolo Park this year, or are they not going to start that this year at all?
Yolo?
The splash pad at Yolo Park?
So Yolo Park, the park itself can open. The splash pad portion, the health department will not let us open.
Okay. Then how's the Southtown splash pad coming?
Southtown splash pad is on hold and will be rebid in January.
Is that going to mess the grant up?
No, we have until November of 2021 for the ODNR grant. So the plan is to have South Park splash pad up and running next Memorial Day weekend.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Further questions? Okay, thank you. Law Director, Mr. Reeman.
Thank you, President Burkett. Just a few quick things for everybody this evening. The piece of legislation that you have about the refunds, I just wanted to convey to everybody, we wrote that in a limited way so as just to refund people who request a refund, with the thought being that there could be some people out there that, understanding the park's financial situation, would like the park just to have those funds anyway. But anybody who does request a refund because they were unable to hold a gathering in picnic shelters, this would allow us to give that money back to them. So that's that piece of it. The other piece I wanted to talk about, which kind of builds into what the mayor mentioned, was been working with Mr. Aislinger regarding nuisance abatement and enforcing our zoning regulations. We haven't been aggressively doing that given the current pandemic situations and kind of putting people to the fire in terms of getting properties fixed up. But as we continue to move out of this, there's some things that we need to take care of before they get worse. One of the things that's gone along with that is I've worked with the county to get some of these properties turned over. You probably won't be surprised that a lot of our trouble-looking properties are also delinquent on county taxes. And so the hope is to get their taxes caught up or either pushed to a tax sale so that we can get the properties in new hands if need be, if there's just not the ability to maintain what people have. So the last piece to that, though, is as we start to work through some of these things, there are going to be properties in town where we're going to need to expend some funds to be able to get them up the code or dilapidated or burned down structures torn down that are safety concerns. So we haven't done any of that yet, but you know, we can't kind of have it both ways in the sense that if we push all of these properties to get fixed, eventually it's going to come to us on occasion that we need to kind of put up or shut up and make some funds available to remedy some of these issues. So just give you a heads up on that. I don't have any requests for any funds at this time, but don't be surprised if that changes in the future. And with that, that's all that I have. So if nobody has any questions of me, I will pass.
Thank you.
Mr. Whitman. Is
Who had a question?
712 East Main Street on your agenda?
What was the property?
712?
I don't have all the addresses memorized, but I will take a look into that. The number sounds familiar, so.
It should. Thank you.
You're welcome. It is on the agenda,
Thank you.
or on the list.
That's it. Thank you, Mr. Raymond. Appreciate it. Moving on, City Auditor, Mrs. Wilman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. First of all, as I may have mentioned to you at the last council meeting, the state auditors are in-house now, beginning their on-site work. I expect them to be around for the majority of the summers, I guess. Secondly, I would like you to know that we are on track to present the 2021 budget to you at the first meeting in July. We are having our Finance Committee meeting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and the public is invited to Zoom in on that meeting. We have set that up so that they can be available. And also that hopefully we will have the report ready for you at the June 16th meeting. Like I said, it is on track that we should have everything ready to go for the first meeting in July. Also, and I guess finally, I would like to welcome Ryan on board. He definitely came into this with a trial by fire, and I think he did very well. So I definitely want to congratulate him on his new position.
Thank you.
And with that, I pass.
Thank you, ma'am. We have no scheduled committee reports, but at this particular time, I'm going to have another committee assignment for Mr. Godwin and the Utilities Committee. We've had a request from some business owners who own they have currently purchased the Sunshade facility located at 607 Riffle Avenue. And they currently have a 1-inch water meter with only a restroom and no water usage in their production. They are requesting the Utilities Committee consider reducing their meter to a 5/8 meter. So I'm going to send that on to the Utilities Committee, Mr. Godwin, and have you review that. I know you're short a member right now, and whenever you can accomplish that, that would be good. If you could do it with, you and Mr. Wright, I believe, can take care of that issue. If I've signed it now, you said you may have a report next council meeting on the 16th regarding other requests. If you can get together and include that, that would be helpful as well.
Yeah, well, I'll get them both done before the next meeting.
Okay, make it as easy as possible.
Get that, Doug?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On my agenda.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to ordinance and resolution first. Well, it would be start off with item 2, which will be the resolution to refund shelter house rental fees.
Resolution authorizing reimbursement to citizens upon request for rental fees for shelter house rentals in the city park. This resolution authorizes the refund of shelter house rentals.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion for Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, read the resolution by title second and third time. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin,
Yes.
Hoddeshell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing reimbursement to citizens upon request for rental fees for shelter house rentals in the city park. A resolution authorizing reimbursement to citizens upon request for rental fees for shelter house rentals in the city park.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Godwin,
Yes.
Hoddeshell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Next, we have an item 3, which is a supplemental appropriations ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. This supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the following funds. Transfer elected auditor and treasurer in the amount of $60,000. These funds are needed for transfer to CIP. Oh wait. Actually, the amount is $97,760. Roadway enhancement CIP in the amount of $97,760. These funds are needed for downtown lighting projects.
Move to suspend the rules, give this transfer ordinance a second and third reading by title only.
Supplemental. Motion by Mr. Rogers to give the supplemental appropriations ordinance reading by title, second and third time by title only. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Godwin,
Yes.
Hoddeshell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020.
motion to adopt,
Motion, Mrs. Howdeshell, to adopt the ordinance. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Godwin,
Yes.
Hoddeshell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Okay, and next we have a transfer ordinance.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. This ordinance allows for transfers in the following funds. $50,000 from street new equipment CIP to roadway enhancement CIP. This transfer is needed for the downtown lighting project. New mowers will not be purchased in 2020.
Move to suspend the rules to give this ordinance reading by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules and read the ordinance by title, second and third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Godwin,
Yes.
Hoddeshell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville.
motion to adopt,
Motion, Mrs. Howdeshell, to adopt the ordinance. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Godwin,
Yes.
Hoddeshell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
And finally, item 5, an ordinance to rezone a portion of area on the west side of North Broadway from, let's see, where are we here? From SR1 to special use SU in the area of 753 North Broadway.
An ordinance rezoning property behind 753 North Broadway for the Dark County Park District. This ordinance authorizes the rezoning of the property east of 753 North Broadway Street from suburban residential SR1 to special use SU on a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, read the resolution by title second, or ordinance by title second and third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Godwin,
Yes.
Bodichelle,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
An ordinance rezoning property behind 753 North Broadway for the Darke County Park District. An ordinance rezoning property behind 753 North Broadway for the Darke County Park District.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Who was the first? Mr. Whitaker or Mr. Wright?
I think it was Doug Wright.
Doug, okay. Was it you, Doug?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. I heard someone other than Mrs. Howdishell.
It was me.
Oh, Doug Schmidt.
Yes.
Oh, okay, Mr. Schmidt.
Wrong Doug.
I'm sorry. Motion by Mr. Schmidt to adopt the motion. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Godwin,
Yes.
Bodichelle,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Okay, thank you all. That concludes the ordinance's resolution. We have nothing under old or under new business pending. Do we have communications?
We received the CIC minutes from the January 22nd, 2020 meeting, and then we received the monthly report of May from the Income Tax Department.
Okay, any other communications from members of council? Seeing none, we'll call down the council, please.
Godwin,
Yes, Ryan, congratulations. And, I think you're going to do a very good job. And Jessica, congratulations to you too. I've seen your last name's changed. And, hope everybody's safe Saturday. And with that, I'll pass.
Bodichelle,
Brian, congratulations. And with that, I pass.
Rogers,
Yes, congratulations, Ryan and Jessica both on your new things. And Ryan, I think you'll do a great job there. So keep up the good work and we can make this city great. And hopefully everything works out great for Saturday afternoon, evening, and we don't have any major problems. With that, I pass.
Schmidt,
I'll pass.
Whitaker,
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Ryan, first of all. Good job in filling up this hole, and you're doing a fantastic job under fire. So welcome. And to Jessica, congratulations. And may the city be safe this Saturday. With that, I'll pass.
Wright,
Congratulations, Jessica. And also Ryan. Ryan's going to do a great job. I hope. There, you finally smiled once. The streets down by the hospital that the construction people are using, are they going to be repairing these streets?
Yes.
They are in bad shape.
Yeah, Harrison's really bad.
Yes. And then where Beaky's was, what's going in there? They're doing a lot of work back there.
So the streets at the hospital, yes, that's in their agreement. They have to repave most of that area once their construction is complete. And then the Beaky's, that is actually owned by the Garst Museum, and they are installing a parking lot.
Good. And then Ryan, you said that they're taking care of some holes on Wagner?
Correct.
Because there's one large spot that's broke down it's sinking down.
Is that from Burger King, like Dave Knapp area?
Yes.
Yes, that's on their list.
Okay. I will pass.
President Burkett.
Well, again, congratulations, Jessica. You have a name change here to Jessica Swan, and you have additional responsibilities, and probably a lot more responsibilities than Mr. Delk has. Although he has to run the city, you have to run a household, and sometimes that could be just as taxing or trying. But we wish you all the very, very best. We know that things will work out, and hope things again go well for you and your husband. Ryan, thank you so much for filling in and now becoming a part of it and part of the team. We kind of jumped in there and really didn't feel much of a bump in the road, and appreciate all your efforts. If there's nothing further at this time, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Howdeshell to adjourn. Call the roll, please.
Godwin.
Yes.
Howdy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smith.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you all very much for your attendance. The way things look, we'll probably be meeting like this again, the second meeting in July. So have a good evening, everyone.
You mean second meeting in June?
June, I'm sorry, yes, June. Thank you. Got ahead
Good
of
night,
it.
everybody.
I thought you knew something we didn't.
Be safe.
Good night.
Good